Okay, welcome back to episode 9 of the TCG series. Okay, first of all, ignore this background. I'm currently house sitting for 2 weeks, so this video, and maybe the next one, I'm not too sure, will have this background. It's the only place where my camera can go, where I can have my microphone, and where I can put my light up. So it's a little bit distracting, but ignore it. There'll be a pretty blue background again soon, don't worry. So a few days ago, I did a poll on my community tab, and I asked you guys if you want to see like a general update video, if you want to see like an art video, or you're not really bothered either way. But then I realized the only thing I've done since last video is really do artwork, so there's no point me asking, because if it's an update video it would have been artwork, if it was an artwork video it would have been artwork. So either way, you guys getting some more artwork, and I hope you're okay with that, and if you're not, then skip this one and come back next time.
Show the whole world what it means to fight. We are the Mythic guardians, standing tall while the shadows bend. Beasts in the sky will never fall. Legends unite, we answer the call.
Okay, let's jump into the episode. First of all, artwork is such a massive part of TCGs that I'm surprised I've only done one episode on it, because I do 2 or 3 artworks between every single episode anyway, and I just don't really talk about them. I just kind of like show them behind me, or like briefly go over them. I don't really stop and talk about them. It's actually like my favorite part of the TCG, so I should really talk about it more. And for a lot of people do TCG homemades because they get to draw artwork for it, like the overlays, the game mechanics, the packaging, like that all comes second because the artwork's so fun to make. And that's kind of where I am. Like, I do graphic design, and obviously I love doing the other stuff, but artworks are really why I started. I wanted to start trying to draw again, like doing digital design and drawings. Like, it's so much fun. And I don't know if I've talked about like all my artworks. I'm not going to talk about all of them in this video, do not worry. I'm going to show you some new ones off and maybe talk about some old ones. It just depends like how long the video is going to be, and I'll like bore you guys with it. But let's see what we can get through. Okay, let's start with some new artwork, because I feel like that's the most exciting thing, seeing new monsters added to the game. And this also correlates with something I've done with the game. And as I was like playing through the Tidal Hurricane deck and like looking through it and like playtesting, like the deck started off as like a nature deck. Like you saw the original name in the other video. It started off a whole nature deck, so like having like bugs in it and like flying things and water things, like they're all part of nature, so it made more sense. But then I transitioned the name into Tidal Hurricane, which focuses more on the air and the water, so having like bugs and stuff in it didn't really make sense. So I made the decision to cut out the bugs I had in this game, which was Brittle Bug, Starlight Cocoon, the Skyward Butterfly, and Nightmare Moth. So those guardians are all gone from this deck. They'll still be in booster packs and stuff, you'll still be able to get them, they're just gone from this deck. So I'm now missing 4 different guardians, so whether that's 4 new ones or adding maybe 2 or 3 and then like duplicating the card, I need some slots to fill. So I decided to draw some actual birds for a breeze deck, because that makes more sense than just a caterpillar. So the first artwork is a bird. I finally drew a bird. I have this real thing with birds. As a kid I could never draw them, like their proportions, their legs, how the wings would sit, like their beaks. I could never make it look good, so I really like panicked when I drew a bird. Like, bear in mind I haven't drawn a bird in like 8-10 years. Like I didn't draw them through school. I just avoided it at all costs. But in TCG, if you've got an air type, flying type, breeze type, wing type, whatever it's going to be, you do kind of have to draw birds. Like, they are a massive part of like TCGs, and they become like some of the most iconic monsters in the game. Like, imagine Pokemon without Pidgeotto, Talonflame, Swellow. Like, it wouldn't be the same. So I thought I have to draw my bird. And I remember like a flyer I picked up had an artwork of like a bird. It might have been for a zoo or something, or a Bird World zoo, and it had this bird in a certain like boomerang position, and you'll see as I'm drawing it, and I thought that position is stuck in my head for so long, and I thought, well, I can't reference that photo anymore, so I have to try and remember what it was. And it had like the boomerang wing, it had like sharp points. It's obviously a cartoon bird drawn for this flyer to like promote a live animal zoo, but it was a position I really liked. I can't get it out of my head, so I thought I'm going to start, if I do birds, start with that one. So with this design, as you can see in the sketch, I kind of wanted it to have eyes, but as I progressed through the design, it was really cool to have this kind of white eye look, like Ninja Turtles back in the day had this kind of masks on and their eyes were white. I love that kind of look, so I wanted to implement that into this bird, which meant having a kind of white eye, blank canvas, and having these black outlines around the eye kind of indicate a mask or some sort of like outline of to show they are eyes, but it's indifferent whether it's actual eyeballs, it's a mask, it's like an overlay, so it's quite ambiguous. I think it was a really cool design. And the main thing I wanted the design to look fast. I wanted it to look like it's speeding through the air, but I didn't want to like motion blur the image or something on the car, so I need to give it a design that look fast and pointed, which goes that kind of triangle design where you start with the beak, you go back around a triangle, and then you put it back almost like a kite kind of shape. So it worked really well, and even though the pose wasn't quite what I remembered, it got there in the end. It was kind of close to it, and I made it my own as well, which is good. So I chose the blue and the black black, just because I feel like that's kind of nighttime colors. I did want this bird to feel kind of like a night warrior, kind of like soaring through the sky, whether it's good, evil, it doesn't really matter. I just want to have a really cool palette where you could have the orange of the beak really accentuated, and I feel like some dark blues and dark greys and blacks really bring that out. I should also probably mention, for a lot of the background of these cards, I'm not going to try and hide it. I don't use AI or anything, but like, I'll get like 3, 4, 5 different images of Google Images and then kind of like merge them together, highlight them, blend them. Like, I very rarely draw my backgrounds unless it's something in particular I want to draw. So just so you guys know, when I'm doing the time lapse and you suddenly see the drawing pop up at the end, I'm not trying to hide it from you. I just use images from Google that are licensable, and if you edit stuff enough, you can always like license it and stuff. So that's fine. But yeah, I never really draw my backgrounds, because if I did that for every single artwork, it would take so long. So just a little tip there, if you want to edit your backgrounds or use photos and stuff burdened together, make sure you edit them enough that they're different from the original, but also it's absolutely fine to use it as long as you like use images that are free to use. Now this is Night Falcon. I absolutely love this one. It's one of the designs where like I kept opening my iPad just like looking at it because I was so proud of it, which might seem really like egotistical, but like I really liked how it turned out. Haven't drawn a bird, like I said, in 10, maybe more than 10 years. So to have this design come out so well, and it's kind of on that 3D, 2D art style, but I've also tried to implement a little bit of texture. So it's kind of in between with my art styles now, I've tried to merge more of them together so it's not so different all the time. But I like how this one turned out. I'm really, really happy with it. I think it's gonna be a rank 3. It's gonna replace one of the butterflies or moths, which is really, really exciting. And if I've got the card done when this video comes out, I'll pop the card up of the monster on the screen as well. It's always fun to see the artwork and then the artwork inside the card. But yeah, so this is the first one, Night Falcon. I really, really like it. Let me know what you guys think of it. And if you don't like it, then and you like the butterflies more, then you can always pull the butterflies in the booster pack and then put them in the deck instead. Okay, so the next artwork was something to replace the caterpillar, which was rank 1. And I do think this one, for some reason, this artwork might be like top 3 favorite artworks I've done. I don't know why. I tried a whole new art style and I really, really, really like it. So as you're going to see in the sketch in the background, it started off and I was intending to do like the 2D, 3D art style kind of thing again, and just because I know it's like accustomed to me now. But as I started filling in the colors and stuff, it was so simple, the design. I wanted to make the actual coloring of it simple, not like boring and basic, but just like simplify my artwork style, have more harsh shadows and lines, and have this kind of playground kind of style where we like seeing children's like picture books, where it feels very like basic, stripped back, but also conveys it really well. And it's just a little bird. It didn't need to be textured and have loads of feathers coming off it and then a really sharp beak with like dents. Like, it just needs to be just a bird, which kind of looks like a bit like a dodo, but also is meant to be kind of like just a random pigeon. Like, it kind of blended in a few birds, which is, I think, is fine. As like, it's a monster, it's a guardian, it's made up thing. Blend stuff together. I changed the colors a little way through as well. But the actual art style itself, I really, really like, and I have done this again for another artwork. It's, well, not completely the same, but in a similar vein. And I don't know how to explain it. It's just solid colors with some harsh shadows, and then I think the background of this image really brought it to life. I took about 5 or 6 different images of like a field, the sky, grass, and had this like sun ray coming in to make it feel almost like more like evening set and like kind of mystical. And you take it into Lightroom, play with the saturation and the clarity and stuff. It brings out this whole new kind of side to your artwork. All my artworks go through Lightroom. I color grade them, I change little bits and bobs, and just how I like to finalize my images. But I absolutely love this artwork so much, and maybe this art style isn't one for you. I'm kind of adding to the list of art styles in this game at the moment, but I really, really like it. It's really, really simple. It's really, really quick to do as well. So if I want to do it for more Guardians, it'll be like a super quick way I can do them. But yeah, I'm really, really happy with it. This is called, I think it's called the Wandering Warbler at the moment. The Wandering Warbler. Again, it's not a warbler. It's just a name that I think fits well. Again, if you like this art style, please let me know. But yeah, this must be like top 3 artworks for me. I don't know why. It's nothing even. It took me like an hour probably to draw this and then get it finalized, but I love it so much. Okay, now I'm going to talk about an artwork that's old, and you guys might have seen this card. I mean, you would have seen it. No, I don't think I used it in the playtesting. I don't know when you guys would have seen it, but you might have seen this. And it's actually one of like the boss monsters for the deck. So you've got like the rank 4 boss monster, and you've got like rank 3s, and the rank 3s are kind of like the semi ones. Think like you've got your level 8s in Yugioh, and you've got your level 6 and 7s in Yugioh. It's like a level 6 or 7 kind of comparison. And it's one of my favorite cards, and I don't think I've actually shown off like the time lapse of the artwork for us. Let's talk about it. So back when this card game first got made, and it was even before episode 1 that I showed you, I made like 4 or 5 cards that looked so close to Pokemon, it was unreal. it was in the Pokemon art style, it had the kind of the Pokemon overlay. I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't like going to release it. I was just making cards for some reason. And this was one of the monsters I had, and he was called Draco Blaze, and he was just a dragon. They didn't have any wings or anything, which changed now. He had this cybernetic cannon on his arm that fired out like blue plasma. I thought it was really, really cool. So I redid my card game like a couple of months later and started making it into what it is now. I brought him back, and I thought, he might be one of the cool boss monsters for the fire and dragon deck because he's fire and dragon. But But this artwork wouldn't have carried over to my card game. Like, I haven't really used Pokemon art style. I've used it for like 2 cards maybe. I want to completely redo this monster, make him bigger, better, and my favourite mythical creature from like card games is Blue Eyes White Dragon. I know, surprise, surprise, so original. But Blue Eyes has that really cool, it's kind of like a dragon thing where it has like layers to his body. I don't know what they're called. They're like massive scales that kind of like layer up in his body. And I really wanted one of my dragons to have that. I know it's not super original if I'm kind of copying an idea, but it is a whole new monster in general, so I think it's fine. And I just added so much to this dragon. I made it from like this kind of scrawny, kind of skinny long neck dragon into this kind of like beefy armored up dragon that was going to destroy something. Originally it was level 4, but I ranked it down for balancing and stuff. But I'm having like a fire mohawk, having a horse on his head, and being this like dark black sinister dragon. Now I don't know if it's my favorite like dragon I've designed, but I think it's one of the originals. It's quite special to me. And getting to like revamp it for this deck was like so fun, and making it into new art style, which was like the 3D more realistic art style. But yeah, I like it. I really like it. Originally it was going to be a Grand Guardian as well, but I don't think it's like, it doesn't carry enough weight to me to be a Grand Guardian. But yeah, as you can see, I did textures, a load of shadowing, the backgrounds kind of blurred and made like embers and smoke and stuff. And again, backgrounds, images I used, put them together, made something brand new. Again, completely fine to do. But I'm really happy with this artwork. I don't know if I like it with wings or without wings. I haven't seen it without wings for so long, but I just think the wings bring it to that kind of dragon level. But yeah, I really like it. It's one of the oldest ones. I think it was like the 3rd or 4th artwork I did for this game. I don't think I've shown it off yet, and if I have, just, you know, you're welcome, here it is again. But I really like it, and if you guys like this one, then you can get it in the Infernal Calamity deck. Okay, so I literally finished this artwork like 20 minutes before filming this video, and again, I did it in that kind of style of the Warbler, where it was very, very basic, a lot of solid colours into like harsh shadows and stuff, and I had this epiphany that I have a aqua deck, water deck, type, whatever you want to call it, with no fish in it. So originally I had a water deck and a flying deck, for simplicity's sake, with no birds or fishes, which it might be fine, you know, a lot of TCGs have extravagant ideas, but I thought that's 2 basic animals in these very, very common types I don't have. So I was like, let's make a fish. I started drawing another fish and it wasn't going well. I was like, it's not really working. I want to make something more like expressive, and I think doing more dynamic poses and stuff really helps me like think about the creature I'm drawing. And I very rarely go with like a plan, by the way. Like, I've got colours in my head, I've got like a face in my head, but other than that, the pen just goes to the iPad and I just see what comes out. But I wanted to have a fish that kind of sings, and again, maybe not too original, but it doesn't matter, it kind of like sings, and it's this kind of, not a siren because it was not mermaid-like, but it's just a fish that it's just happy all the time. It's a vanilla monster, no ability. I want it to be very basic, have a fish in my water deck because I haven't got a fish yet. I've got like a Leviathan, but that's a bit different to a fish. But again, this art style is super simple. You draw a shape, you fill it in, and then you draw a shadow. You can change the opacity of it. When I do shadows and highlights, I always work with black and white. I very rarely like change the color. If it's a blue, I don't use a darker blue. I'll just use black and then change the opacity of it, because it feels like you can get more leverage out of that. You can go either really dark or you can go really, really light and subtle. But if you're using just a darker version of the color, you have a bit less leeway of how far you want to go between the color scale. So I would recommend, if you're going to do artworks like this, go with black and white highlights and then change the opacity, because it will like accentuate the color underneath anyway. But I really love the design. He's got like a little jacket tie thing on, but it's not really clothing, and then you can't really see too well in the final artwork because I did cover it up with the water a little bit by accident, but I also wanted to have him in the water. But he's got this kind of like frills at the bottom, which looks a bit like a jacket, like a furry coat. Again, I'm not really sure what I was going for. Sometimes it's fine just to throw stuff at the paper. Not everything has to make sense. It can just be fun. These fins with like swirls on, which kind of represent music notes. So just stuff like that, where it's not throwing your face that he's like a singer, apart from the pose I did, but in general, it's just like these little like elements that are just like, oh, he's a fish with a smart suit on that sings, and it's kind of obvious, but it's not like in your face obvious. It's just a nice little addition. But yeah, I really, really like it. Again, the background, just found a few water things and sky backgrounds, merged it all together, just some blending. Again, Lightroom to kind of fix the colors a little bit, make it more vibrant, make it pop more. But yeah, I'm not sure what his name is. I don't really have a name of him yet. Again, I literally just finished him before filming this video, but this art style again took me hour maximum. So if you guys like this art style, again, it's really easy for me to do. I'm not going to like go to this artwork completely all the time, but for these smaller creatures that are more basic without super harsh in-depth features, it's sometimes fun just to do the bare minimum but then make it into something you really, really love. It's like quite rewarding. So yeah, here's final artwork for that one. Let me know what you think. I've got a nice variation between like the 2D 3D, the more basic style, and I've got the three new ones I've done this week, which is the 2 birds and the fish. But again, you've not seen all the artworks in HD. Like, I haven't shown them all off. I saved some of them so I can put them in the background kind of video. But I'm always doing artworks. I do want this card game to potentially come out with 100 cards in the first set. I've got about 80 so far, so we're getting there. And I've got a few from other people who have sent stuff in, which is really, really nice. But I also might do a designer card contest. I'm not 100% sure. But if you'd be interested in like submitting artwork as like a contest thing and have your card be like the winner and like be in a booster pack, please let me know, because I don't know if I have the numbers yet to do that as like a subscriber base. But I would be interested to see if you guys would be up for submitting stuff and like having your artwork be like front and center for one of my cards in my game. But yeah, other than that, I haven't really done too much this week, to be honest. I've just been drawing, getting cards ready to reprint, ready for more testing and game balancing and stuff, because now I've changed the game so much, I need to reprint the cards with the new updated layouts and stuff. So very, very exciting stuff to look forward to. I'm really, really happy with how the cards are turning out. I keep like just adding more and more stuff to my card game. It's feeling so much more real now. Again, don't have any release date, don't have any time frame I'm doing this to, but it's just fun to see it progress, and like looking back how it was like even 2-3 months ago, how it's so different now. I'm also aware that next episode is episode 10. I'm not sure if you guys want to do anything special for that, or you want something in particular. If you do, please like comment down below, because I feel like episode 10 is quite big for me. I like doing 10 episodes, but also at the same time, it can just be another update video or something like that. So please let me know what you guys want for the episode 10 video, or like a recap for these episodes. Let me know. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, like it, comment, subscribe, keep an eye out on Instagram, because I'm always posting little hints and stuff on my story with that, and I'm trying to get more consistent on there, but it's really hard. I don't want to show too much and then ruin the videos for the future. I'm trying to balance between like showing you guys new stuff, but also not revealing it before I show you on the video. But yeah, I did post a teaser to these artworks, I think 2 days ago on my Instagram. So go follow that, linked in the description. Go follow my TikTok with my shorts on there. But yeah, look forward to episode 10, whatever it's going to be, and I will see you in the next video. All right, bye guys.